And Buffalo sports fan, to answer your question, I'm starting the stream right now. Ladies and gentlemen, I know it's not quite halftime of this game yet, but it's boring the living piss out of me. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Believers Talk. My name is Joe, and welcome to this preview edition of Believers Talk, where we take a look ahead at the week 4 matchup between our Buffalo Bills and the Las Vegas Raiders. For those who just joined me, listen, we could start a drinking game about how often I'm going to call these guys the LA or the Oakland Raiders rather than the Las Vegas Raiders, because I'm still trying to get used to that. So I imagine you're going to hear me say Oakland a lot in this stream. So if you want to play a drinking game, Dan Mitchell's in the house. Drink every time I say Oakland instead of Las Vegas. It's going to happen a lot. Hey, King Cam, I'm just sitting here watching the worst game in NFL history. It's pretty bad. And not only that, it seems like it's taking forever. Now, listen, I'm happy that Simon Darnold did not get injured for a long period of time. It did look like a scary hit when he first took it. And again, as you guys know, I'm never a fan of injuries. I will never support being a fan of injuries, but it's definitely been one of those games that you just don't like watching. So I thought I'd hang out with you guys. It's already 10 o'clock here on the East Coast. So like I said, not only is this game just terrible, it's dragging on between 2-0-3 teams. So I thought we would talk about the keys to victory for our game this Sunday. Remember, it's 4 o'clock. So for those of you who want to watch the live stream, again, giving you live play reaction right here on Believers Talk. Hey, Daniel, good to see you in the live stream as well. So for those who want to join my play reaction, remember, that starts at 4 o'clock this week, not the normal 1 o'clock start time, as we travel out to Las Vegas to play the Raiders. And I'm looking forward to it. Obviously, I'm looking forward to hopefully going 4-0, starting 4-0 on the season, going into possibly playing Tennessee. Who knows if we're even going to play Tennessee week 5? They've already canceled that Tennessee game versus the Pittsburgh Steelers, and there's no telling if everything will be good to go by the start of week 5. I just don't know what's going to happen. So we'll see what happens there. Obviously, there's a lot of talk going on in Vegas right now about the Las Vegas Raiders. The Tennessee Titans, 3 of the players or 4 of the players now have been tested positive. And so they had to cancel the Steelers game because of that. Keys to victory: defense, stop the run, pressure Carr. Well, I actually think, I think defense and stop the run go together. I also think that Stephon Diggs has to play a big role. That's why I'm wearing number 14 jersey today. I think Stephon Diggs has to play a big role. Hey, we've made it at halftime, 17-13 at the half. Holy boring half. But I do think that Stephon Diggs will have to play a bigger role in this game. We knew that he'd be shut down against the Rams. There's no reason for him to be shut down against the Las Vegas Raiders. But I do want to get into my piece to victory, guys. If you're new to this channel, thank you for Raiders fan here. Look forward to the matchup. Hey, Ray Dizzy, glad to see you in the streaming. Guys, again, Ray Dizzy, you're new. I do my live reaction and play-by-play to the game. I'll be doing it this Sunday. We had plenty of Rams fans in the house last Sunday, giving us a hard time, having a good time in the chat. And listen, as long as you keep it clean, there was a fan that I yelled at. I don't remember his name, but someone said, "Why don't you just block him?" And I was like, "No, he's not doing anything bad." So please be sure to join us. Would love to have you join the stream as well, and let your Raider buddies know that we will be there. Hey, Juan Castillo, good to see you in the stream. Not much going on. Again, as King Cam said, just not enjoying much of what's now a halftime Thursday night football game. Again, guys, I am not putting up these Thursday night football games. I hate them so much. Don't worry, I'm not toxic to see. My brother actually was a Oakland Raider fan. I actually don't know if he's still a Raider fan now they moved to Vegas or not. But we'll see. I said to just, and I was one, I just couldn't, because he wasn't talking negatively. Like, he wasn't swearing. He wasn't doing anything like that. He was just talking about a 28-3 lead. Now it's terrible, whatever. So Rams were extra salty in the stream. They absolutely were. And that's okay. That's all right. They're allowed to be. That's kind of the fun of the whole thing, right? Is to have different fan bases coming in, and for the most part, they were very nice, and we had a good time. Obviously, at the end there, things went more the Bills' way than the Rams' way. But there's always going to be one team that's disappointed, and one team that's happy. So I do want to talk about our 3 keys to victory. I'm not going to lie, guys. I'm not worried about getting you guys back to the second half of this Thursday night football game. I feel like I'm doing everyone a favor by staying on here as long as I can, so people have an excuse to stay up, but it's an excuse not to watch this game. Hey, Anthony, good to see you in here. I had to delete a couple inappropriate messages at the end of the stream, and I appreciate all my moderators for doing that. And, as we do the live streams, guys, obviously I want to keep the chats as clean as we can. It's number 14 jersey. Is that close enough? It's number 14. I'm not going to turn around. It is not Stephon Diggs. That's what I'm going to tell you. But it's number 14. Maybe we'll get something. We'll get the stitch thing in the back, and I'll just put it over top or something to make this a true number 14 jersey. But yeah. So speaking of Stephon Diggs, that is one of my keys to victory. Stephon Diggs, like I said, needs to have a big day. If you look at the cornerbacks for the Las Vegas Raiders, listen, Anthony, don't be laughing. Don't be laughing about it, all right? If you look at the cornerbacks for the Las Vegas Raiders, Nevin Lawson and Damon Arnett are both questionable. In fact, Arnett is doubtful for this game on Sunday. And those are two of their better cornerbacks, and they don't, it's not like they have elite cornerbacks to start off with. So I feel like this should be a time, and with John Brown potentially a Fitz jersey. I'd rather a Fitz jersey than a Watkins jersey. That's all I'm saying. But with John Brown potentially being out of this game, I mean, he missed practice again today. Obviously, he left early on Sunday. With that being a possibility, Stephon Diggs needs to step up even more, and I think he will. In fact, I would expect to see Stephon Diggs with over 135 receiving yards in this game. Yesterday, during our roundtable event, we had Clayton say that he would have 2 touchdowns in this game. I wouldn't be surprised to see that either. I think that Stephon Diggs will have a huge game against the Las Vegas Raiders. And the Buffalo Bills hopefully will coast to victory. If you watch that roundtable between Mario from hashtag, Dan Mitchell from Bills Mafia, and Clayton, we had a great time. If you haven't, go over to hashtag Sports Channel and check that out. Clayton from the Cold Report. So if you check out the Cold Report, check out Dan Mitchell, check out Mario and Paul from hashtag Sports. All do a great job with their Buffalo Bills coverage. But not only does Stephon Diggs need to have a big day, obviously, as Daniel Gowry's pointed out, and I think everyone knows this, we need to stop the run game, right? We need a better job stopping Josh Jacobs. Listen, I have Josh Jacobs in one of my fantasy leagues. I'm playing him, all right? I'm playing him. The Bills have allowed an average of, I think, 108 yards of rushing offense, and Josh Jacobs is the main back in Oakland, so I expect him to see a lot of carries in this game. Thank you, Dan. I appreciate that. It was a lot of fun. It's always a lot of fun getting those guys together, Mario, Dan, and Clayton and myself. We have a good time. Hit that like button. As Daniel said, I do appreciate that as well. Again, and if you're new, hit that subscribe button as we continue to keep you up to date. Again, tomorrow we'll be live streaming the injury report. Again, we did not see John Brown practice today. There are a couple of injuries. We did see Edmonds come out of his red jersey, so he looks like he is getting healthier at the right time. Have both Milano and Evans in there for now, hopefully their 3rd game. And again, yes, there was no preseason, so the fact that those 2 missed a game was kind of crucial when it comes to getting the defense set. But that's one thing we have to do. We have to win time of possession. If we win time of possession with our offense, keep that defense off the field. Again, the tide really shifted when that interception happened, and not just because of that interception call. Remember, that was on 1st down. Despite what Clayton said yesterday during a live stream, I wanted to correct him during a live stream, but I didn't. I saw some people in the chat did. But that interception was on 1st down. So, yeah, there was offensive pass interference, but it would have been 1st and 31, I believe, 30 and a half, 31. 1st and 31 from about the 10.5-yard line. So, because it would have been half the offense pass interference would have been half the distance to the goal. Interception. Exactly, Angry Buffalo Sports fan. So not only do you have the interception, but the defense just got off the field after allowing a touchdown to make the game 28-10. So even if, let's say, the Bills don't convert a 1st and 31, which, listen, the Bills converted 2 3rd and 15 pluses in this game. So there's no telling what could happen on 1st and 31 as far as having 3 downs to get 31 yards. Could have been done. I'm not saying would have, but even if it's not, you have 3 downs. Because on 1st down, you're either going to run the ball or you're going to complete an easy short pass that gains a few yards downfield, right? So that's going to eat up some clock. That's going to take some time. One of those plays is going to be downfield. It's going to be a long bomb. Whether it's caught or incomplete, it's going to take up some time. So it's either Frank Reich or a Fitz jersey, 100%. If this was a Frank Reich jersey, I wouldn't be wearing it. I promise you. Frank Reich is my favorite Buffalo Bills player of all time. I have his picture right above me, his signed picture right above me. Frank Reich has always been my favorite Buffalo Bills player. I have told this story a few times as to why Frank Reich is my favorite Buffalo Bills player of all time. But that's something we won't get into today, unless you guys ask for what the heck, why not? It's not like we have a good Thursday night game to get back to. So my first key to victory, as I said, Stephon Diggs, number 14, has to have a big day. He has to go for over 130, 135 yards. Josh loves chunk yardage, and he knows how to get it. Listen, Josh did a great job against the Rams. You talk about that, what was it, 3rd and 21 to Beasley. There were a lot of big plays there in that fourth quarter on that last drive where Josh Allen was just slinging it. And listen, Josh Allen, 10 come from behind victories since 2018. I mean, that's pretty amazing. Talk about 12 touchdowns so far for Josh Allen, 3rd and 22. Yeah, Daniel, and he passes it to Cole Beasley over the middle, and Cole Beasley just finds a little gap, and boom, gets the first down. And Sam Darnold, a dual threat. Sam Darnold is not a single threat quarterback, so I don't know how he's a dual threat quarterback. I said yesterday during the live stream with the guys, and I mean it. Sam Darnold is just not a good quarterback. And people, listen, the New Jersey Jets and their fan base might not want to realize that yet. He was a number 3 overall draft pick. And I know we want to blame Adam Gase he's a talented quarterback, but that does not make him a good quarterback. He right now is simply just not a good quarterback. Is there time for it to switch up for him? Absolutely. I think of someone like Alex Smith over with San Fran, 7 different offensive coordinators or however many it was with the San Francisco 49ers year after year after year. It took him a few years to get going, but he did, and he became a decent quarterback in the NFL. So definitely could still have that in his future for Sam Darnold. But again, there's no telling what could happen. As long as Sam Gase is there, nothing's going to happen for him. I'm just not a fan of Darnold. There's nothing he has done in 2.5 years or 2 years and 3 weeks or whatever it is to impress me. There just is nothing that he's done. Jets keep using his age as an excuse. I feel bad for them. I don't feel bad for Jets. And listen, as a Buffalo Bills fan, keep Adam Gase as long as you want. Enjoy him. Have a good time. And after you get rid of Adam Gase, rehire Rex Ryan. I really don't care. Because they had 3 receptions that drive. He was crucial to that win. Well, Beasley had 100 yards of receiving yards in that game. And most of that was on that last drive. Before that last drive, Gabe Davis was our leading receiver, and Beasley just was having none of that. The rookie's playing good, but he's not that good. Kobe's like, no, we can't have that happen. Hey, Kenneth Osborne, how you doing? Good to see you in here. Looks like you was right about the game, this game. West Newsfest. Yeah, I've been saying it all week, and I completely still agree with that. It was funny. I was on Twitter, and they were talking about the last time the New Jersey Jets and Denver Broncos played on Thursday Night Football. It was Sanchez versus Tebow, and this game is worse than that one, right? And that had very little offense, to say the least, in that game. And this game has already had more offense than the whole game in that one. And I still would rather rewatch that game again than watch this game that's going on. Darnold has regressed. Absolutely. He needs a change of scenery or change of head coach. Yes, he needs to change scenery either in coaching staff or in a new team. He absolutely does. Absolutely agree with you. I don't think the Jets are ready to get rid of him yet, although it would be interesting if the Jets get the number 1 overall pick, what they do with it. If they go with Trevor, if that's when they're like, listen, we need a whole new regime in here, get some draft picks for Sam Darnold. He still has value. He still has value, maybe a 3rd and a 5th or a 6th, something like that. And then, do that and then go get Trevor Lawrence. And then you have a quarterback maybe of the future for you. And then you have your new head coach, whoever that might be. And Buffalo Sports Fan says Croft is better than Knox. Croft had one game where he scored 2 touchdowns. I'm not even going to call it a good game. Like he had a decent game, right? And he scored 2 touchdowns. And so now everyone wants to say Croft is better than Knox. So here's the difference, though. And I will say right now, Croft is better than Knox. But the problem is Croft is at his ceiling, right? We know Croft's ceiling. I think Knox can still have a higher ceiling than Croft, which is why we still need to make sure Croft is involved in this offense. So I do believe that Knox is involved in this offense. I do believe right now Croft is the better tight end, but Knox has the potential to be the better tight end. That's because we only target Knox. We need to target Croft, but maybe he'll break a foot again, right? If we target him too much, what if he gets injured again, right? We know about his injury history. That has to be a concern. That always has to be a concern in the back of the mind of Buffalo Bills fans. And again, if you look at that tight end room, I was worried about that tight end room when Knox got hurt. Now Knox is out of concussion protocol. He was a full participant of practice today, so expect him to be ready to go on Sunday. But if we have a good tight end in Croft and we can get a good tight end out of Knox, then this offense becomes even more explosive. Croft drops and fumbles too much. Again, still a young guy. This is only his second year in the league. We have to give him opportunities. We have to give him a chance to prove himself. After 3 weeks last season, we would have said the same thing about Josh Allen with all his fumbles. Remember, week 1, he had 4 turnovers. He had 2 interceptions. 1 you could have blamed on Cole Beasley, and 2 fumbles. So it's not like Allen, as of last year, week 3, was knocking everyone's socks off. It wasn't until Dable went up in the booth when we really saw that change begin to happen. So we said that about Zay Jones, and look how that turned out. Any Buffalo sports fan, listen, when we drafted Zay Jones, I was excited. I loved Zay Jones where we drafted him. I thought it was a great draft pick. I think Zay Jones's problem was being drafted by the Buffalo Bills. All right. And I think the Buffalo Bills completely mismanaged Zay Jones. And we can say what we want about it. And I'm happy we got rid of him when we did. But the Buffalo Bills completely mismanaged Zay Jones. And I'll say that no one can convince me otherwise. Listen, and it's not necessarily all the Buffalo Bills' fault. Remember, when we drafted Zay Jones, we also picked up Anquan Bolden in the offseason. Anquan Bolden was supposed to be our number 1 wide receiver, and Zay Jones was supposed to be our number 2. Now, I originally thought Zay Jones would be best in the slot, right? I think in Eastern Carolina, where he played college ball, he played most of his time in the slot, right? Almost like a Shenault, not as explosive as Shenault, but that type of player, right? Where he plays the slot a lot, able to get open, a young Cole Beasley type player. And we didn't use him like that. Anquan Bolden retired during the offseason. All of a sudden, Zay Jones is our number 1 target because we didn't go after Kelvin Benjamin until we realized, hey, we could make a push for the playoffs in 2018, which we did. We made a wild card that year. Kelvin Benjamin didn't help with that, by the way. But if David moves on, maybe Frank Reich takes a demotion and becomes our OC next year. Hashtag wishful thinking. I think we already have our offensive coordinator on the staff, to be honest with you, if Dable leaves. And you have to believe that if Dable was getting interviewed by the Cleveland Browns this past offseason to be a head coach, if this type of offense keeps up the whole season, he's going to get head coaching offers going to the next offseason, which is a surprise to me. And that might be the end of both coordinators in Buffalo. I still think Leslie Frazier can get this defense turned around, and I think that he could get head coaching offers as well. But definitely Dable, if this offense continues to produce the way it's producing, can get head coaching offers, and then we're looking for 2 new coordinators. Should we be worried about defense? Got to pick it up. Again, I'm not worried about our defense picking it up. I think, if you ask me if I trust Leslie Frazier and Coach McDermott, I'm going to say, yeah, I trust them to figure it out. I mean, they just have a track record that proves they know what they're talking about when it comes to defenses. So I'm going to trust Leslie Frazier, even if that includes Coach McDermott. Remember, was it 2 years ago where for a half of football, Coach McDermott took the defensive playbook play calling out of Leslie Frazier's hands, and then we just saw a completely different defense the rest of the season. Even if Coach McDermott has to do something like that, I think, do you bet or just watch? I do bet. If you watch every Wednesday, I do my picks against the spread and straight up. So I do some betting if you're interested in that. I don't know if Dable would leave with what we are building in Buffalo, maybe in a couple of years, but not now. Again, he had the opportunity to leave last year with Cleveland, and he took the interview. So we'll have to wait and see. What was my favorite Bills jersey that I own or of all time? Are you asking, Pavlos, I asked my favorite Bills jersey. I mean, my favorite Bills jersey of all time, again, would be Frank Reich, just my favorite player. Giving too many points up of all time. I'd have to say Frank Reich. Frank Reich is my favorite Buffalo Bills player for personal reasons. And so I will always cheer for Frank Reich, no matter where he goes head coach. I wish him nothing but. Isn't Dorsey still coaching here? He is, and that would be who is on our staff to replace him. Maybe time for McD to take over the defense for a bit. And yeah, absolutely. And like I said, 2 years ago, that's exactly what happened. He took over the defense for a half. I believe it was in the San Diego /LA/whatever game where he took over for a half. And then all of a sudden, our defense was different. Oh, away home or color rush. Has to be our home jerseys. I've never been the biggest fan of our color rush jerseys. I think they're just too bright, too obnoxious. But it would have to be our home jersey. That's probably what I'm a fan of the most. I thought that was on the Broncos, but okay, whatever. Call them the Jets. I don't care. So the game is back from from halftime, but again, it's gonna be a boring game. So let's get back to my keys to victory, because that's why we're all here anyway. I'll always answer questions from you guys. Again, join the conversation and join me this Sunday for a live play-by-play reaction to the game between the Buffalo Bills and the Las Vegas Raiders. So my first key to victory, again, Stephon Diggs needs to have a big game. My second key to victory would be time of possession. We need to make sure that we have time of possession, give this defense time to rest. And with that, that would include stopping Josh Jacobs, right? You give this defense more time to rest. Hopefully they'll show more gap integrity. Just a cash grab by the NFL. The color rush jerseys absolutely look good in the snow. They did. But everything's a cash grab by the NFL. I mean, I think about the Washington football team and the cash grab that is by Dan Snyder and the franchise down there in Washington. Why couldn't you just rename a team? Why do you have to create a whole new line of athletic wear for 1 year for Washington fans to go out and buy some just so they can say they own some, and then next year they're going to buy some more? And I said this during #Sports Hall of Fame group session that is on Zoom. So if you're not part of that, you can definitely do that as well. But I said this during that time that, you know what? They're going to change the color just a little bit. It's going to be instead of burgundy, it's going to be like a light burgundy or something like that, or bright burgundy. I don't know the closest colors to burgundy on the color scale, but they're going to do that just so you buy another jersey, just so you go out and buy another hat, just so you go out and buy whatever it is, because that's what it's all about for the NFL. And listen, they're a business. How can you blame them for that? I know so many people get mad at the NFL for being a money grab. Listen, if I owned a business, that's the whole point. That's the whole point of owning a business, right? So I just don't understand. The Washington should have just changed the mascot to a potato. Yeah, I think maybe at some point it might boil down to that. But my second key to victory, like I said, time possession. If you control time possession, not only do you keep that defense healthy, not only do you keep Josh Jacobs on the bench, you also hopefully help those offense continue to stay in a rhythm as well. Maybe give more carries to Devin Singletary. I feel like he's been underutilized so far this season. I know we all love the passing attack. I do too. But at the same time, you do need to be able to run the ball in this game. When it comes to hard running, heavy defenses, you need to be able to run the ball, especially when it comes to December in Buffalo. So maybe get some more carries for Devin Singletary. Now, again, you do want to hopefully save his legs as well, give him fresh legs, especially if Zach Moss's turf toe still acts up and he is not active for the game on Sunday. But you definitely want to try to get Devin Singletary more touches. We have too many returning players from last year. They're going to focus and remember who they really are. They'll wake up out of this funk and be back to the form in no time. Talking about that defense, Juan Castillo comes in. We have a lot of returning players on this defensive side of the ball for them to continue to be where they're at. Again, if you look at defenses around the league, a lot of defenses are struggling with the way the season started out with no preseason. You know, we thought that defenses would come out on top and not the offenses. It's been the exact reverse of that. The offenses have seemed to get a jump on the defenses, and now the defenses seem to be trying to catch up, play a little catch up, and that's fine. And again, the best defense will rise. The best defenses will rise to the top, and I think Buffalo's still gonna be right there at the end of the day. What am I doing? The game of the year is back. Joe, what am I doing the game of the year back on? Yeah, I'm sorry, guys, that you're missing such a great game. The Jets are in the red zone, getting ready to possibly score again. So, yay, Jets. But, yeah, we'll talk about that never. But my third key to victory is going to rely on, I don't know, our special teams again, right? Like our special teams, Bojorquez had a 72-yard punt last week. The week before that, he averaged like 43 yards or something like that. And then the week before that, he only had one punt for 53 yards. Field position's huge. Field position, RIP Jets fans. And they're settling for another field goal. Good for them. Yay, field goals. But field position is huge in any football game. And I think when you're talking about going out west. And this is our first, as I was reminded yesterday by Clayton, and I think he said in the group chat as well, this is the first time the Bills have been going out west in the Western time zone in 2 years. So we're going to have to get off on the right foot. We're going to have to get off on the right track. Now, this isn't like West Coast teams traveling east, right? West Coast teams traveling east playing a 1 o'clock game. That means in their time, it's 10 a.m. Now, for us, since we're playing this game at 4 in the afternoon, it's 1 p.m. Eastern time. So it's not much different for the players' mental clock, right? For their body clock. So that's a good thing. But we just need we stay focused. That's something that we seem to lose track of this past Sunday. And Jordan Poyer alluded to that during his post-game press conference. When you stay focused, stay on the ball, make sure that you don't take any plays off. The moment you take plays off, that's when these teams take advantage of it. And that's what we saw with the Rams this past week. We don't want to see that with the Raiders. So my 3 keys to victory: Stephon Diggs needs to have a huge day. We're talking more than 7 receptions. We're talking over 135 yards and multiple touchdowns possibly. We need to be able to stop Josh Jacobs. I think that's an obvious one. I think winning time possession would help with that. So let's say win time possession. And I would love to see us win time possession like we did, what was the first game against the Jets, where we run time possession almost 2-1, if not more than that. Would love to see that again in this game. Now, I think the Oakland Raiders, I'm sorry, their drinking game, there you go. I think the Las Vegas Raiders offense is better than the Jets. But then again, I think between me and 10 of you watching right now, I think that our offense would be better than what the Jets have. Short camp, no preseason, and linebackers missing time. Just too much to overcome in the last few weeks, in the first few weeks, especially with those 2 linebackers. I agree. They'll only get better as the season continues. I hope that you're right. I think that you're right. I think we have nothing to worry about. Bills top versus Jets was over. Yeah, time possession. Yeah, that's what I mean. And I would love to see that again against the Oakland Raiders. I know like that's almost impossible to see those numbers, right? I'm hoping it's at least 35 minutes, but yeah, man, to see what we did that first week of the season was very impressive. And it's been nothing but impressive ever since. Josh Allen's incredible. I know some people are talking about him in the MVP race. Listen, in my opinion, personally, I love Josh Allen. I really do. But you're looking at Russell Wilson and then everybody else. I love Josh. And Josh Allen might be 2, but he's far down. If you ask me, I think Russell Wilson, the fact that Russell Wilson has never gotten an MVP vote is just insane to me. Russell Wilson is definitely a game changer. I'm not saying Josh Allen isn't. And Josh Allen definitely has time to still go after those MVP awards, go after the winning. And, I love having Josh Allen. And like you said, one thing I really love about Josh Allen that I'll always remember, Joe Flacco MVP 2020. We did see him in this game for a little bit. Sam Darnold, again, thank you, Victor. But again, yeah, I think I'm glad that no one ever seriously gets hurt, right? I'm glad that Sam Darnold did not break his collarbone as initially thought by Troy Aikman and some others. But we did see Joe Flacco in this game. But listen, Josh Allen, one thing I love about him is exactly what he said on Sunday in his postgame when asked. Russell Wilson is elite, but Josh belongs in the discussion. And I'm okay with him being in the discussion, absolutely. But the discussion has to end with it. As of right now, Russell Wilson, if I was ranking it, I would be Russell Wilson 1, Josh Allen 2, and it wouldn't, in my mind, be that close. But there's still plenty of season to go. We still got 13 more weeks of NFL football, so we'll see what happens. But like I said, one thing Josh Allen said on Sunday that really spoke to me, really made me happy that he was our quarterback, is when he was asked, why does he do so well in those fourth quarter situations? And he's like, because I want it more than anything. And when I heard that, when I saw that, I was like, that's our quarterback. To me, that's one of those quotes that I will always remember about Josh Allen. Hey, Bills fan 1970, thank you for joining us. Every sportscaster is hating on Allen still. What's a man got to do? Hey, it's fine by me, right? The more hate he gets, it fuels his fire. I'm more than okay with that. And all he wants to do is win the game. All he wants to do is win every single time. And I'm good with that. He doesn't care. He was named AFC Player of the Month this month. Well-deserved, by the way. And, when you talk about a guy named AFC Player of the Month for the first month of the season, then he obviously has to be in the MVP race, right? He obviously has to be there. But you talk about him and Russ. I seen that press conference with Allen. He's just too damn professional. He is exactly the type of quarterback that belongs in Buffalo. He's the quarterback that we deserve. And and I just really look forward to seeing him continue to grow as a Buffalo Bill. I think that what he's proven so far is that he deserves every single bit of that fifth-year extension, if not a bigger extension, fifth-year option, I meant, if not an extension after this season. So I'm very excited to see what those numbers look like. Definitely not going to be $500 million, but he might be earning himself a paycheck come the end of this season. When Josh said, I put my buy on the line for my team, I lost it. Yeah, a lot of people compare Josh Allen to Cam Newton, at least playing styles. And I always think about that play Cam Newton did not make in the playoffs when he fumbled the ball. And I'm like, man, if that was Josh Allen, he would have broke every bone in his body to jump back onto that football without even thinking about it twice. And that's the type of quarterback we have. Top 5 right now, MVP race. Pablo says Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, Jameis Winston. I don't know about Jameis Winston. He's not even playing right now. Josh Allen and Nathan Peterman. I like 3 out of your 5. The other 2 might have to go. But yeah, I like the 3. I like Aaron Rodgers being a solid 3 behind Josh Allen right now for that MVP. But again, lots of football left. Again, my 3 keys to victory are going to be Stephon Diggs, time of possession for the Buffalo Bills, and make sure to stop Josh Jacobs, more gap integrity in the run game. And then my 3rd key to victory is special teams. Listen, we haven't seen Tyler Bass have to make a lot of field goals, right? He missed 2, well, he missed 1 and got 1 ruled no good week 1, but since then it's been nothing but extra points. Love seeing that 5 for 5 in the red zone with touchdown percentage for the Buffalo Bills. I want to see that continue. I want to see us to be able to punch it in the red zone. So hopefully those things continue. But those are my 3 keys to victory. So again, guys, join me Sunday. Join me tomorrow, guys. I'll be live for my injury report. Join me on Sunday for live play reaction for the game at 4 o'clock between the Buffalo Bills and the Las Vegas Raiders. Again, I'll be coming on here about half hour early. Normally for 1 o'clock start, I'm on here at 12:30. So for a 4 o'clock start, I'll be here at 3:30. Maybe we'll run down some of the late 1 o'clock games they're winding down and maybe getting exciting towards the end. But we'll pregame the Bills Raiders game, and then as soon as 4 or 5 or 4:25, whenever the game starts, hits, we'll be making sure to give you live play reaction to every single play. So again, make sure if you're not watching this live, you hit that thumbs up button, you leave a comment. Let me know what you think the Buffalo Bills 3 keys to victory are, and what you think about the score prediction for Sunday's game. I'll give you my score prediction in the pregame on Sunday, and like I said, I'll bring you the live injury report tomorrow, let you know who's in and who's out for the game on Sunday between our Buffalo Bills and the Las Vegas Raiders. I look forward to talking to you all soon. Again, thank you all for joining me. I look forward to talking to you all soon. Until I do, go Bills.